Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah. On behalf of Kalwas, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have another very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker who is going to talk about the art of giving and receiving feedback. Indeed, feedback is very important to develop our skills properly. And most of the time, we are afraid of feedback just to avoid the criticism. But that constructive criticism is very essential to understand our weaknesses and how to overcome these weaknesses. Really, very interesting topic, and I'm sure you will learn a lot from this session as we have an expert with us in this session. So stay tuned because an amazing stuff are coming ahead in this session. So before we start, I would like to thank Kalwas for arranging such enlightenment sessions, for their support and providing us such a wonderful platform. The aim of Kalwas is to give you the opportunity to connect and interact with world-renowned speakers, academic leaders, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen to learn from their experiences, recommendations, and suggestions which will create an impact and will enable you to learn and develop yourself in order to grow and transform individually as well as to contribute to the world in a positive way. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have an amazing person as guest, a person having a wonderful experience in speaking industry, an international known personality. He's a great human being, and we always see him while contributing to the world on various platforms. And he is so generous that he is always ready to share his knowledge. So let me introduce him formally. He is a professional inspirational speaker, educator, facilitator, and Amazon best-selling author. He is a positive influencer, mentor, and coach of public speaking, clarity and confidence building. He started his coaching and mentoring program called Confidently Speaking Institute in 2019 and published his best-selling book titled Say It Loud, Say It Proud, one of my favorite book as well, last July of 2020. His work is about the importance of communication, learn the art of public speaking, and confidence in presentation. He is a distinguished Toastmaster DTM, the highest distinction to Toastmasters International. In addition to that, he is also a coordinator of youth leadership program and facilitator of speechcraft technique in universities public speaking and presentation, combining a sense of responsibility and gentleness and humor. He stated his mission clearly: I was born to bring out the best in people by sharing my experience in the mechanics and dynamics of confident communication so that others can realize their dreams. Moreover, he is a licensed teacher and had a background in customer service and marketing in the Philippines before moving to Canada in 2008. He now speaks globally in different platform, organization, and schools to share his knowledge and vision and mission. Last but not the least, he's a wonderful speaker, author, teacher, professional, and above everything, a great human being. So please help me in welcoming our guest, Mr. Von Eric Tendok. Welcome to Kalva's platform once again, and thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much for having me here, Doctor. For the second time, I'm excited to be here. I'm
Yes.
excited because this is becoming my mission and vision to give my knowledge about the art of giving and receiving feedback.
Yes, very nice, sir. And it's really great and pleasure to have you because we had received a lot of guest requests regarding to engage you again, and you are so generous that you have given us again your precious time out of such a busy schedule. So the format of session would be the same that the sir will be presenting, and he would leave time for question answer session at the end of the session. So if you have any question, you can write in comment section or you can email us info@kalwas.com. So let us get started. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to share this knowledge. And I'm really excited, as I mentioned before, because I know this will give value and impact for you how to give feedback in your workplace, in your personal, professional, to your organization as well as to your family, and how to give constructive feedback without offending particular person. Also, we will be going to tackle how to receive feedback without taking them personally. We've seen a lot of people they don't want to receive feedback because of course they don't want to be being judged, right? In the field of speaking, that's why many people are scared of public speaking, because this is one thing that they're going to avoid. They avoid being judged by their audience or listener. Before we start and move on to this presentation, I would like to mention objectives and the expectation in this presentation tonight or today in other parts of the world. Okay, number one objective. At the end of this presentation, you will get to know more why feedback is important in your workplace and in Toastmasters and any other organization. Let's say you belong to international organization like Rotary, Lions Club, and even in your workplace. Let's say you're a manager, you're a supervisor, then this presentation is for you. The second objective, the three important steps to learn from feedback. What are those steps that we should learn from feedback? Moving on, if I'm going to ask everyone of you what is feedback, I probably get different opinion, different definition. For the purpose of this presentation, we have this definition of feedback. Any information about reactions to a product, a person's performance of a task, which is used as a basis for improvement. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to remember these words: basis for improvement. That means if we're going to give feedback to someone, we want them to improve. We avoid criticizing them and we avoid negative comments as much as possible, particularly if we are in a professional aspect of work. Even in any kind of work, actually, we have to use feedback as the basis for their improvement. Evaluations. Okay, this can be called the view, the critics, the judgments, the opinion, or the satisfaction. Let's say in a customer service, the customer should have this satisfaction of the product of your service. So that is feedback. And I value feedback more rather than the customer will be silent. Imagine if you're a owner of a restaurant and your customer is silent and never come back. So that is kind of silent treatment and you did not get any feedback. And once you did not get feedback from a particular customer, you never learn, you never grow. So that is how important feedback is. It's normal to feel negative or ill feeling when we receive feedback. That's normal. We are human being. But again, as a human being, we'd rather use the logic, we'd rather use the reason than using your emotion. Right? That's the common mistake of many people. They use their emotion instead of their reason. In that way, they view feedback as a negative evaluations on their performance, on their product, in their attitude and behavior. So again, the natural response to evaluation is to feel judged. We have to mature to a place where we respond to it with gratitude in love feedback. That is according to Henry Cloud, an American author. So we have to embrace feedback and evaluations with open mind and open arms. That should be the behavior that we should display when someone give us feedback. For the purpose of this presentation, let's tackle an example about a speaker. Because as audience and listener, right now, I'm getting feedback. To those watching this, I'm already getting feedback in three important aspects as a speaker. Number one, how the speaker looks. So that's very important. How do you look? How the speaker sounds, and how the speaker organizes his material. Okay? So we need to spend more time congratulating ourselves for the improvement we are making instead of overthinking how far have you go. So again, if you will focus on these three, how you look, how you sound, and how you organize your material, then you will possibly get a good evaluation. Right now, sir, you look very professional and you always like that. So that's how you look as the host or moderator of this session. You sound very confident as well. And a while ago, you mentioned the format of this session. So that's how you organize your material. So again, that's three important. Many speakers only focus on one or two, neglecting the other one. Let's say one speaker will focus on how he sounds and how he organized his material. He forgot how he looked. Right? So that's important. Other speaker, they are very observant on how they look, how they sound, but they are not really good in organizing their material. So we need to at least take care of these three: how we look, how we sound, how we organize our material. And in that way, we will receive positive evaluation as a speaker. Okay, how the speaker looks. Why this is important? We need to dress well. Okay? Your appearance is the first basis for evaluation other people have, and first impression lasts. So how we look. Okay. One more thing, a good appearance makes you feel important, and your appearance talk to you and to others, and make it certain. It says here, here's a person who has a self-respect. He's important. Treat him that way. So very important is how we dress well. And you never know who you might run into when you go out. It could be a future business partner or a person of interest. So how you dress well. And of course, it adds to your confidence if you dress well. So that's important, particularly if you're in a business meeting, you're in a conference, or you are the speaker, the moderator. So very important how you dress well. Just one tip though in dressing well. You need to be comfortable. Otherwise, it will affect your performance as a speaker. So dress well but comfortable. So that's one good tip that I want to share to everyone. This is important too. You may dress very well, but how do you sound? Are you confident? Are you nervous? Do you have a loud or low voice? Low voice means you are shy or you are not confident. So be very careful how you sound. Next one, how you organize the material. I think this is also very important. You have to put your ideas and thoughts into that speech. Now, how do you prepare your speech or presentation, of course, there are three basic components of speech. And this is I always mention to my speaking engagement to different schools and organization. When you write your speech, consider only three things. You have your opening, you have your body of your message, and you have your conclusion. That's it. In your conclusion, provide call to action and summary of what you presented. So that's how you organize your material. Very important. Now we're almost in our presentation about the art of giving and receiving feedback. Okay, number one is we need to take into consideration we should give constructive feedback and, if possible, avoid negative feedback. One thing to remind yourself when you give a feedback is this one: it's not what you say, but how you say it. In every dealings, okay, you will be a good human being with the words how you say it, right? That's very important. Okay. First, let's tackle how to give feedback. Okay. Let's focus on how to give feedback first, and then later on, we will transition on how to receive feedback. Again, what are the three tips or the three arts in receiving or giving feedback? Number one, attention. Give your full attention. And when we say attention, the art of listening is very important, particularly the world we are in. We are in Zoom conference, we're using StreamYard like this. Attention is very important. There are so many distractions in the world. When your cell phone, you see your cell phone, that distracts you. Maybe when you are working at home, your children are playing, your pets are playing, there's a noise, then it's very difficult to have your attention. So focus your attention. Let's say you're going to give a feedback to a speaker. Focus your attention. That's number one. The second one I would like to discuss here is the sandwich method. If any one of you here listening, watching, or later on you will watch this presentation, let me know in the comments if you did not hear about the sandwich method, and we're going to discuss that one. The last one, show you care. So I conceive a format using the care. CARAE. So that is care. But literally, we should be giving care when we do feedback. Because again, the basis of your feedback should be to make the one you're giving evaluation to improve in their performance. Or let's say in a business, to improve their services and products. Okay. Moving on. This is what we call the feedback sandwich. I'm not making you hungry, every one of you. We're just using the sandwich format for a positive feedback. So imagine a sandwich. There's three layers. The top portion is the bread or the bun, and we call it the crown. This is in the fast food industry. They call it crown. The middle portion is everything. Your sauce, the patty, that hamburger patty. I hope I'm not making you all hungry. The lettuce, the tomatoes, everything. So that's the middle portion. Now, the last portion, we call it the heel, is another part of the bun or the bread. So in feedback sandwich, it represents three things: the crown, the middle portion, and the lower portion. The upper portion or the crown represent your positive feedback. The middle portion, that is the feedback that you really wanted to give to an individual for their improvement. And lastly, that another positive feedback, something that they made or something positive that you observed from them. Okay, let's use the positive sandwich, feedback sandwich. Okay, let's say I'm a manager and I'm giving feedback to my employee. Let's use the word John. John, I like how you greet the customer. You are very respectful. Again, that's the positive feedback. Now you transition to your middle part, which is the constructive feedback, avoiding that negative feedback. However, I notice when you greet the customer, you are not making an eye contact. So that is feedback that you want them to improve on. And then once you give the feedback or the improvement that you want to give, transition now to another feedback with this the positive. Overall, I like how you interact with customers. You speak clearly and you respect all of them. So that is a basic example of feedback sandwich. If you notice, I use positive, the improvement that I want to give to my employee, and then top it up with another positive feedback. So that is feedback sandwich. Now, is this effective? Many experts, particularly those who are not members of the Toastmasters, they said it's not effective. Well, it's not actually the format. If you really want to give an effective feedback, remember the phrase that we use here. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. No matter what format you're going to use, it's how you say. It's not what you say that is important. So that's one tip or one art of giving feedback using feedback sandwich. First, the art of giving feedback is your focus, your attention, and the second is this format, which is what we call feedback sandwich. In Toastmasters, by the way, we use this format to all our speakers, to our members for the improvement. What is feedback sandwich? Again, positive, let's avoid the negative. There's too much negativity in the world, so let's love one another, give our care. And then another positive. That is feedback sandwich. To summarize what is feedback sandwich, by the way, again, the top portion represents something positive to warm up the discussion. There you go. That's an art of giving feedback. Second one, the middle portion, imagining that sandwich in your mind, the feedback you actually wanted to give. Okay, and that feedback will lead them to their improvement. Lastly, something else positive to soften the real feedback. So that is the art of giving feedback using feedback sandwich. Another format that you might want to use, okay, is the care. I conceived this care format on how to give evaluations. Okay. First, I want everybody to be a coach rather than a critic. Again, there's too much negativity in the world. Eliminate negativity. There's too much critics in the world. Eliminate being that kind of person. Be a coach. And how are you going to implement this care format? Number one is compliment. Okay. Compliment your employee or the speaker of the good things they did. And then address that one thing that you want them to improve on. Okay. Mention it. Again, how you say it is more important than what you say. So address what needs to be done, what needs to improve on. Then later on, you as the evaluator or acting as a coach, you will resolve it together with the person you want to improve. Let's say your employee. You resolve, right? And encourage him or her to work on that particular observation. So that is care. And of course, give your care to your employee, to your subordinates, to your co-equal. Even in friendship, right? Sometimes we have these friends who are not really acting in a positive way and we want them to correct that. Okay? So you use your care. Be caring. Using the compliment, you address, you resolve, and encourage. So that is another art of giving feedback. Before we will proceed to how to receive feedback, I would like to summarize the important tips on the art of giving feedback. Number one, you're listening. Number two, use the feedback sandwich. And number three, the care format. I do hope that's I give value on that one on how to give feedback. Now, let's transition to this another important topic, part of the presentation, which is how to receive feedback. Okay? You learn how to give feedback. Now, you need also to learn how to receive feedback for your success and improvement. Take into consideration different people will give different feedback. Evaluations. Again, I would like you to remind the three things as a speaker: how you look, how you sound, and how you organize your material. Okay? How to get effective evaluation? You can get it from your audience. Or if you have a mentor, they will help you to get effective evaluation. Let's say you want to present a presentation. So you have a mentor, a friend, or probably you have a coach that will going to help you in your presentation. This is important. Set yourself up for success. What does it mean? You should prepare yourself for practice. Practicing your speech for an effective presentation. And then, once you practice or rehearse your presentation, you present your talk to your audience. So, how do you prepare yourself for practice, right? Okay. I mentioned a while ago how to write the speech. Write your speech using the opening, the body, and conclusion. And then you can use, if you're still conventional, you can practice in front of the mirror or probably practice your speech, record your speech, and then watch it. Or if you have friends, relatives, your family members, or you have your mentor or your coach, practice in front of them and they will give you evaluations. Later on, the moment that you are prepared, you can present your talk to your audience. Okay. Learn from the feedback. This is the most important. Instead of being an emotional, you should be a learner. Learn from the feedback that they gave you. Okay. Be coachable, be teachable, and apply what you learn from them. Or let's say from your audience. In my talk, I provide evaluation form and I give it to all my listeners. Just last week, I gave a talk in my community about communication and presentation. And after the presentation, I give them evaluation form. So they mention what needs to be done there, what I did great. So that is feedback. So prepare a feedback or evaluation form. Okay. So that's very important. Okay. Now, if you want to win, you have to be willing to be judged by others. That's the most important. That's the tip. Okay? If you want to win, you have to be willing to be judged by others. If you want to grow as a speaker, listen to them. Or if you want to grow as a person, don't think that you're better than anybody else. Be humble. Have that humility to learn from other people. Don't be that person that thinks he's the best, he's the smartest, he's the greatest. No. Be humble and asking question like, how can I improve in my speaking? That is humility, right? Right. Sometimes I use that. I ask some friends in Messenger. And sometimes they don't wanna hurt you, and they said you are great. Well, if you will say me to me that I'm great, I might probably not learn. Well, thank you very much if that's coming from your heart. But if you can give a feedback like, oh, you're great, but I want you to have a beautiful slides, or I want your slides not too many, I'm confused. So that's where I'm going to learn, right? So again, if you want to win, you have to be willing to be judged by others. Okay. There are other people, particularly organizers, when you give feedback to them, they got hurt. Because by nature, people only want to receive positive remarks. That's in nature. But again, if you're open minded, you're willing to be judged, then you will win. So learn from the feedback. This is the most important tip that I want to give to everyone on how to receive feedback. Remember the acronym QTip. Quit taking it personally. Don't take it personally, particularly constructive or any criticisms. Don't take it personally. Okay. The moment that you take it personally, then boom, you will not learn from it because you got hurt. Okay. Don't be too sensitive. Okay. That's his Q tip. Well, that's how you going to receive feedback, learn from the feedback, engage a coach, set yourself up for success, you prepare, so practice, practice, practice. Even in cooking, even in your product, your services, it takes a lot of learning and practice. So remember those. But lastly, if you really want to receive feedback and grow, quit taking it personally. I have a full chapter of evaluations in my book. If that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chapter 7 of my book. I wrote a whole chapter on evaluations because I believe as a speaker, you need evaluations. As a manager, you need to give evaluation and you need also to receive evaluation. Evaluations for me are very important. Even at home, I ask my wife for her evaluations on anything I do. That is very important. I ask friends for evaluation. That's why, if you remember, I prepare evaluation form for my speaking engagement, particularly now that we're back in person. I prepare evaluation. And then on their table, there's one evaluation each for everyone. And after my talk, I asked them, I requested them to fill up the evaluation form. And then when I go home, I read that evaluation. That's important. If you have questions, doctor, please. But before that, I would like to show this one. If you have any question about this presentation, I'm in Facebook. You can message me on Messenger. I'm in LinkedIn. I'm in Instagram, and I also have my email. And probably you can reach me. Check my website www.bonerictandok.com, and you can email me there. So, okay. Any question, doctor? That's my
Yes.
presentation for today.
Thank you very much, sir. It was wonderful to listen to you again. Previously, it was a great session with you, and I learned so many things from you. And I still remember one thing which I used to narrate in different classes, and I quote you that I learned from the dear Sir Von Eric that be coachable, be teachable. And that's your wonderful phrase. I love it, and I have learned it by heart that yes, if you are as a mode of student, it means that you are learning all the time, which is very important thing. And that's the wonderful thing. And the way you started it from the objectives, and then you came up with the art of giving and receiving, the I love the concept of sandwich, which you have given a wonderful meaning, and then the concept of care and all these things. I love the way of how speaker looks, how the speaker sounds, and the material. Very nicely, you have combined all of these things, and you have summarized in a wonderful way and made it very easy for our audience to follow you, to understand, and so that they can improve their speaking, public speaking properly, and with the art. Very nicely you have mentioned, and that's the beauty of the expert. Really, that's why I always enjoy session with you, that you always come up with the new things, the new concepts, and it doesn't look that you had a session with us last time, because you always come up with the new content and powerful content. Very nicely said. Yes, we have wonderful questions for you. We will be taking just shortly this one. The first question is, sir, von Eric, that please share your thoughts. How do you see the role of social media in receiving the feedback? And sometimes we receive negative comments and feedback. How do you deal with that, and how should we deal that as a student? Please share your thoughts. This is the question from the master level students. Yes, please.
Wow, that's a wonderful question, doctor. Social media, this is actually the world we are in, the internet and social media. And yes, you're right. We usually receive negative remarks in the comment section, right? We receive bashing, particularly even the celebrities or the sports celebrities as well, the musicians. Let's say in their Instagram, when I read the comments, they receive bashing. Well, here's my thought on this one. We can't control anyone who gives bashing or negative comments in our social media. We don't have control about that. Okay. What you can control is your attitude towards that comments, particularly if it's negative. The only thing that you can control is your attitude, your behavior, and your emotion. You can't control anybody when they write something negative. Again, people by nature wants to see only positive remarks. That's why in our Facebook, in our Instagram, we post a picture, our selfie. The first thing that we will read is the comments and how many likes. We are happy if we have 50 or 100 likes, right? We're happy. But we're sad if there's only one negative remarks. Why is that? Out of, let's say, 10 comments, 9 are good and 1 is bad. You forgot the 9 good comments and you just focus on that one negative comment. Why is that? Why is people always focus on the negative things, right? So again, my answer to that very beautiful question is, you can only control yourself. You can only control your behavior. That's why I mentioned in the art of receiving feedback, remember QTip, quit taking it personally. So that's my personal thought on that question, sir.
Yes, very nicely said. Thank you very much, sir. It was so wonderful answer, and your Q tip is again a new thing for me. Don't take it personally. Yes, sir.
Quick
And
tip.
you can control yourself. That's the wonderful tip you have given. There is one another question, and they want your guidance and tips regarding that thing. The question is, dear sir, now the role of emotional intelligence is very important in every aspect of life. So please give us the tip then receiving in feedback because of criticism, it is hard to listen and observe, and particularly how to absorb that criticism. So please give us some tips how to control our emotions and particularly emotional intelligence in the workplace. Yes, please.
Wow, I love it. The emotional intelligence. We should have a higher quotient. And if we have a high emotional quotient, then we will thrive to the society. Okay. How are you going to deal with the criticisms? Okay. Number one, be calm. Calm is superpower. Okay. So don't react immediately. Be it verbal or written criticism, be calm. Okay. That's why there are many people practicing meditation, mindfulness when they go out of their house. Because the moment that you step out of that house of yours, you are now dealing with different personalities. But be calm. Number one. Number two, never ever react immediately. Think. Once you're calm, then you can think very well. Again, calm is power. Now, if you encounter verbal or let's say face to face negative criticism, smile. Just smile. Don't drop to their level. That's the most important. Through the years, I learned wisdom. As I age, if I receive, or let's say I talk to not so good personality, rude or mean people, I step away, step back. Never go into argument. No one wins an argument. So just be calm, don't react, you smile, and never go into argument. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you.
Very nicely said. Thank you very much. What a nice answer you have given. Really, that's the wonderful thing. You have a control on your own thoughts and your own emotions. And very nicely, you have given a message that give a smile back and don't react to that situation because you are in full control of your own things. And I loved your phrase that don't drop to their level. Your level is different, don't drop your level. Very nice message, and I love this thing about you. You always give so wonderful answers to the students, particularly. One last question, dear sir. The question is from a very wonderful student. They want to ask that, dear sir, please guide us about the role of social skills. You would agree with us that nowadays the social skills are very important to compete in today's dynamic world. How do you recommend us to increase the social skills to engage people and to draw their attentions towards you? So yes, please.
Thank you, sir, for that question. And thank you for asking that question. Social skill is a very important life skill that we need to learn. How are you going to be sociable? Okay, so get out, go out, speak up, interact with different people. That's where you're going to learn. Okay? If you're not confident to interact, then you need to work on that one. So how can you be a confident? First, okay, work on yourself. Okay, improve yourself. Read a lot. Read books. Listen to inspirational videos. If you're shy, then if you're aware that you're shy, that's a first step. The first step in solving a problem is recognizing there's one problem. But if you don't know that there's no problem, then you can't solve anything. So that's the first step. Now, if you know that you're not confident, you're not shy, that's a great start because you are aware. So work on that one. I'm also a shy person. I don't go to a party or any invitations because I'm too shy. But now, even if I'm by myself, I don't know anybody, and I got this invitation through mail, I go because I already overcome shyness. I already became confident. And that is the best thing that we can do is work on your confidence. Okay? Work on your communication skill. The moment that you have that great communication skill, then your social skill will improve as well. So work on yourself. I always love work self development and growth. So learning and learning. So interact. Go with the right companies. Go with the right people. Okay. If you know that they will not give you a positive impact to your life, then don't go with them. Go with the positive people. Engage with a coach. Get a mentor. And your mentor probably will be your former teacher. You respect that teacher. Or your mentor can be a friend, a co-worker who gives positivity and impact. So that's where you're going to improve your social skill. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very nicely said. Once again, sir, that's the wonderful answer. Get a mentor, get a coach, and they will guide you. And very nice message we have given to this student that yes, be surrounded by the positive people, and this is how you grow. And they say a man is known by the company he keeps. So definitely, if you are surrounded by great people, you will become great by the time. So very nice. Thank you very much. Once again, you have described everything in such a wonderful manner, and you have given a wonderful explanation along with the powerful content which you have always with you. And I love the way of calmness, the way you give your speech. I always try to learn from you, and I have learned so many things from you in the last session and even in this session. You come up with the very creative things all the time, and you give us the opportunity to learn. That's the wonderful thing about you, sir. So as you know, at the end of the session we ask our each guest that what is your message. So what is your message to the world as a speaker, author, teacher, professional, trainer, learner, and educator? Yes, please.
Okay, my message to everyone is with regards to this presentation, you will learn from others. We're not island, okay? If you know the saying, no man is an island, we will learn from others. Not only from the books that we read, not only the videos that we listen to, but we will learn if we will have this courage to interact with other people, particularly if you choose the right company. And if you really want to improve and you want to start anything, music, writing a book, sports, this is my core message. Any aspect, start small, start now, you will achieve more. Thank you very much.
What a wonderful message you have given to the world. Start small, but keep it and keep going. So wonderful message once again. Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, art of giving and receiving feedback. The sir has explained in a wonderful way. We definitely recommend that please follow the distinguished speaker through his work. My favorite book as well. Please, we highly recommend read it, and then you will come to know so many wonderful concepts. As he mentioned that he has given the different chapters in that book as well. So you can email him and you can follow him on different social media. He's very much visible over there. You can always approach. He's very generous, and he's always ready to help and support the people. So moreover, powerful content, the powerful explanation which the great speaker has already elaborated will help you to understand and develop your understanding regarding this wonderful topic of art of giving and receiving feedback. So that is all we have time for today. Thank you once again, Sir Von Eric Tendok, for your wonderful and precious time and wonderful suggestion and tips. And also, I would like to thank our audience who joined us. If you have any additional question about information shared today, please email to us, or you can connect with the speaker directly through his social media and different platforms availability, as he mentioned in the his presentation as well. Thank you all for your support and liking our sessions. Stay tuned as many sessions are on the way. Please do not miss any session. Until next session, take care of yourself. Bye bye.